Welcome back to Solomon's Porch with your host Jason,
And Sean.
and we're back with another, can't speak today.
Never.
Another.
Never-ending story?
Never. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, another episode of the show.
Nivar.
So we're so glad to be back with another episode here on the porch, and we're going to have a little bit of fun today. We're going to be covering our top comic book films.
Yeah.
We haven't done that for YouTube yet, and it's been a while since we did it on podcast format, and they've changed since the last, 2 years, 3 years ago we did it.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know,
been a while.
man.
It's been a while.
minute.
So we're going to cover.
It's a pretty good song, by the way.
Huh? What?
Been a while. Been a while.
It has been a while. That's
No,
good.
but it's a good song.
I like that song. Stained. Do you have a
Yeah.
stain on you?
I'm sure. I've been wearing this shirt for 2 weeks now, so I'm sure there's probably one or two on it.
Okay. So we're going to be doing that, and I'm going to kind of try to figure out what's going on and why churches are dying. I had a conversation with my pastor. We were having kind of a mentorship session and some other stuff, and we were just talking about the
And you don't think it has anything to do with COVID?
That's part of it. But we're going to talk about that in the section because it's talking about amoral versus immoral and why churches.
I only have one moral.
But that's good. You
Yeah,
should stick to scripture.
I have amoral.
So we're going to be diving into all of that today. Before we do that, though, we do want to thank our sponsors for the show, Mr. Peyton Goldston. He's got a song called I'm All Yours. And as 2020 came to an end, he was reflecting on how good God is, even when things around us don't make it feel like he cares. Despite the events that 2020 has brought us, we are still alive today to see another day. And the song is an expression of his love to him. So we're grateful. Make sure y'all check that out. It's on our indie artist playlist, which is over on our website. So y'all are welcome to go check that out. And also, AC Lightning's got a new song called Live Life. It's about it's a feel-good vibe about finding joy in life, which, I think it's always good to do that.
Yeah.
It reminds him of Will Smith's Summertime song where you're just having fun, reminiscing.
Right on.
And he wanted to show that as a Christian, you should know how to have fun as well. And I got to be honest, man, I think sometimes Christians forget we can have fun. We can have a good time. We can still enjoy life. We might not enjoy all the same things,
Sure.
or we might have to enjoy them a little more clear-minded than what others are. But, it's not about finding an escapism to enjoy life. It's about finding joy in life regardless of what's going on around us. So,
Your hand's bouncing the table on my
dude.
camera. I see my camera just doing this number the whole way through.
yeah, I got a bad habit of moving hands. I think I get that from kind of that Matt Chandler, Francis Chan thing where hands are flying and all that stuff.
It has nothing to do with the fact that your parents are deaf and
Probably.
so you grew up tiny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It could.
Okay.
I'm
All
not
right.
sure. Anyway, let's move on to some news, man.
All right, so WandaVision, we'll just go ahead and come swinging right out of the gate. Dropped this week, and the first 2 episodes. We did a review, so you can go check out our one-shot review on YouTube and get our more complete thoughts on the 2 episodes and what we think is where it's going and what we think of it. Did you catch the Marvel Legends? So not like DC Legends, but their Legends TV show
it was
thing?
worthless.
It was. You know what it reminded me of? They've been doing those like prequel comics for the Marvel movies. They did with like Captain Marvel, and it was all the stuff that you already knew, that you'd already seen.
Just in comic book format.
Yeah.
The only one that I read that actually gave you additional story was the Black Panther one. That was it.
Okay.
That was it.
It was absolutely useless. If you've watched the movies, you got nothing new out of it. So don't waste your time. I mean, and unless you're trying to watch it because you're trying to introduce somebody else to the Marvel universe, and they would like, who's this Wanda person? Who's Vision? Because that's all it does, is it introduces them and breaks it down for you. So based off of the movie appearances. So
yeah, I didn't really understand
Boring.
the reason for it at all. There was no reason for it, except to maybe just kind of catch you up in case maybe you've only seen the movie one time when it came out and you don't really keep up with it. Then you might have got like a recap of Wanda and a Vision. But other than that, it gave you nothing new. It didn't give you any clarity.
Honestly, I think it really would only serve someone like, my wife, if she was like, yeah, no, I'm interested in this new show that Disney has.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, let's watch this so that way you kind of understand these people, so you understand why they're, kind of where they are and what they're about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
I at least was hoping they were going to give some type of interview monologue or dialogue or something from the actors.
That would have been cool.
Like, at least something. You can still show us the same clip, same footage, but give a little bit of clarification from just anything else.
And there's
anything.
And there's a YouTube video out there that has them doing a bit of interview stuff. And I mean, why not just go ahead and have stuck that in there? I don't know. Anyway.
Exactly. Anyway.
So moving along. So don't take this as like written in stone. My understanding is that this is the leaked title for the next Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. It shows up on several different sources, but I've not seen anything that was totally official from Marvel Disney. And that is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Now,
I think that is the official one, because if you go to the
it's on IMDb as the official.
well, even if you go to the verified Ant-Man Twitter page,
Yeah.
it actually has at the very top Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania.
Yeah.
So I think that may be it.
But I hadn't seen anything specifically from Marvel or Disney specifically saying that. Now, it doesn't mean that that doesn't exist out there. It might very well. It's just in my research I hadn't found it. So that's why I was prefacing that it's, as far as I'm concerned at this moment in time, it's considered leaked. So
They do have they have verified, and I'm seeing here on Marvel.com, it looks like that is the title.
Okay.
But this is back December 10th, so I don't know. But they did cast the daughter, Cassie Lang, who's going to be, I guess, was it Stature? And so she's going to be, I guess, joining them. But they're introducing Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Who's going to be played by Jonathan Majors, who was on a Lovecraft something on HBO Max, some type of show on there. And they say he's a really good actor. I haven't seen that show yet. But the interesting thing is the actor that plays King the Conqueror in the MCU, who's going to be playing him, he's a black man. Well, in the comics, King the Conqueror is Nathaniel Richards, who was a long cousin from Reed Richards. So my question is if King the Conqueror is going to be African American, is Reed Richards going to be African American in the new Fantastic Four?
The way that I take a lot of MCU is pretty much the way that they're doing anything in Star Wars. Anything that we understood to be canonized from comic books and stories is really kind of out the door.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I wouldn't have a problem with it per se. The interesting thing is the actual director is going to be Peyton Reed, which Reed Richards, Peyton Reed, King the Conqueror,
and actually, the actor Nathan, right, from Lovecraft Country,
Jonathan Majors,
sorry. He is actually a really good actor. I've been watching a few of those episodes. I got hooked on something else, Westworld. I'd never seen it, so
I want to watch it.
I'm kind of going through Westworld right now. Yeah, just beware that there's a fair amount of nudity in it.
Pretty much anything that's HBO is going to have that.
It is, yeah. Almost. Any of those premium channel shows, Showtime, Epics, those sorts of things. So
for sure. So also, we have some new Salamis Porch merch. Y'all can go check that out. We got the link in the description of the show, and make sure you go follow our YouTube channel. We have our show on YouTube now, so it's podcast and visual format. And real quick, one more piece of news. And this is just something that's kind of been floating out there, but it hasn't been officially announced, is the idea that, well, actually, I mean, there's a couple things. One, Captain America, Chris Evans, Steve Rogers. There's a lot of talk about him coming back to the MCU, and he put a thing on Twitter that was like, it's news to me. Now, the thing is the actress that's playing She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
She said that, she didn't have any major role in the She-Hulk film that she knew of so far. But yet she is She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So misleading, misdirecting, and MCU's very known for that.
Sure, yeah.
The Russo brothers have done it several times, all sorts of stuff. And so the question is he going to be like a flashback type of a scene somewhere in a film or a show somewhere? So Chris Evans, just don't be surprised if you see him pop back up somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be a Luke Skywalker Mandalorian season 2 episode 8 type of a thing, or if it's just going to be, whatever, something like Spider-Man Homecoming where he's in a short video, like, cameo type thing.
Yeah.
But also, it is kind of been official that Charlie Cox will be in Spider-Man 3.
Stoked.
Daredevil. So if you don't know,
Very
he
stoked.
is the same actor that played the Daredevil character on the Netflix original series of Daredevil,
Yeah, man.
which to me was the best Netflix original series, period, for me,
Punisher.
next to Punisher. I'd say it's right after Punisher.
Okay.
Because ideally you had Punisher in season, 2?
Okay.
So
okay,
to me, you got the best of both worlds in there.
Yeah.
But ideally, though, I'm interested, excited to see what's going on. So a lot of theories way back whenever Daredevil was released to the MCU, to Marvel Studios from Netflix, because there was a time period where Marvel couldn't touch the characters in the same way they couldn't touch them back whenever Fox owned X-Men, Fantastic Four. So as soon as they released them, it's like, hey, we can now officially start writing story with them in it.
Sure.
And it didn't take long. Spider-Man 3, you got all these Fox characters. You got the mixing of the other Spider-Man films because there's a contract between Sony and Marvel Studios now. Spider-Man 3, I'm curious to see if Tom Holland's going to be in it or not. With all the other characters that we're seeing in it, it's almost like he's being like kind of put in the shadows somewhere. Because you got Tobey Maguire, you got Andrew Garfield, you got who else? A ton of other people that Jamie Foxx. I'm interested to see if Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be in it. I think it'd be cool to have Kingpin in there.
Definitely.
Honestly, he would make a great Spider-Man villain. I'd love to see him in Spider-Man 4. But anyway, either way, I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited to see Spider-Man 3. They haven't given an official release date, but I'm thinking ideally they were planning on being the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's true, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that's it for the regular news. Let's go into some music news.
Well, as we had announced on the last show, Brotality announced that they're having their debut full-length album called Worldwide Desolation that will be available February 5th. So that's right around the corner. Keep your eyes open for that. Vials of Wrath, black metal band, it just had a reissue of their Seeking Refuge album on vinyl through Vision of God Records. So if you're into black metal, you don't maybe know about Vials of Wrath, or if you're just not even real sure what black metal is and what it sounds like, check out Vials of Wrath. And vinyl, man. I'm always up for some new vinyl. Speaking of new vinyl, Demon Hunter has their Songs of Death and Resurrection, which will be releasing in March, officially, full album and vinyl and CD and whatever format that you prefer. But they just dropped 2 new singles, I Will Fail You and Dead Flowers. So remember that this album is prior tracks redone.
Right.
So more of an acoustic kind of feel sort of thing.
And it seems like it's their slower stuff too.
Yeah, it is. So it's, and ordinarily, I'm usually just kind of okay about it. But I don't know what it is. Like, I Will Fail You is, I liked the song anyway, originally, but I like this resurrected track as well, which is why we'll be playing it at the end of the show. So,
Love and Death. Love and Death. We announced previously that they're releasing a new album called Perfectly Preserved. I'm so excited, man. This new
Yeah.
single that has come out has been really, really, really good. It's called A White Flag.
I was not excited when Down dropped, but I'm excited about White Flag.
Yeah, and the artist they have featured on there, I'm not entirely sure what he's from. Like I tried to look him up,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't find him anywhere. Just on like Apple Music.
Who is it?
His name is
Oh, you didn't know that at the ready, did you?
hold on. Well, I was trying to see when it was releasing. It's releasing February 12th.
Oh, okay.
That's when the album releases, and
Which is also available on vinyl as well.
the artist is Ryan Hayes.
Okay.
And I tried to look up Ryan Hayes, and I couldn't find him as a part of any other band. They've had some other, like they're going to have Lacey Sturm on the album
Okay.
from what was Flyleaf, or she was a part of Flyleaf, and also Keith Wallen. I'm not sure who that is. So right now, you can listen to the single Lo Lamento as a single. They don't have the album version available if you pre-order the album. They do have the song Down, which is their first single, and White Flag. And there's a breakdown in White Flag toward the end that is so good. It's so good, man. That one piece of the song has made this my most listened to song in the past couple of days.
I think that's mostly because they count as high as you do.
Yeah. Or they count down from the highest
From
number
the
I can count
highest,
too.
yeah.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anyway, the song is fantastic. Make sure you go check that out if you're a fan of Christian rock, and if you're not a fan of Christian rock, become a fan and go listen to it. Also, Angie Rose, she's actually a Christian artist on Christian Capital, CM, I can't remember the name of that record label. Anyway, same record label as Social Club Misfits and NF before he left the Christian part of it. So she's got a new EP called Unstoppable. I kind of sampled through it. It's pretty good. I like it okay. I think a weird thing that some artists are doing now is they're taking the vocals and it sounds like they're putting a little bit of distortion on them, or they're doing something to the sound of them, the effect of them, that makes them sound different. So this kind of has that feel to it, at least from what I heard. But overall, it sounds really good. And there's also a new, I don't know, label. I'm not sure what it's classified as, but it's called Military Mindset Productions. They got a compilation called Behind Enemy Lines. So you can go check that out. D Black's on there. Say a lot of corners up there. A couple of other folks. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
A couple of those songs are on our indie artist playlist. You can go check that out. And in general, man, go check out our indie artist playlist on Solomon'sPorchPodcast.com. And check out those artists, listen to them. I have their Twitter tags on there so you can follow them on social media, find them, things like that. And support those who rock with the show. So I think that's it for the news, man.
That's it. Short and sweet this time.
Yeah, man, we're trying to keep it under 20 minutes, and we've done that. We're at 17 minutes, 55 seconds. And I think that's it, man. So we will be right back with our round 5, so make sure you stay tuned.